counting. 3, 2, 1. And it is here, day 4 of the SkyBet Ebor Festival. And what a festival it has been. I'm here with Dave Ord. I'm here with Ed Chamberlin. To you, Dave, first of all, it's been a fantastic few days.
Wonderful. Best racing week of the year, and it hasn't let us down, has it? I mean, City of Troy on that day one, Aiden's domination of the Group 1s, a scorching performance in the Nunthorpe, but Shindog, the best is yet to come.
The only... I don't want to put a dampener on it because it's been fabulous. The weather's been so unkind. It's raining again now. The wind has messed things up a bit, and the draw a little bit. I mean, there were a few in the sprint yesterday had no chance from their high draws. That's the only negatives I can find. I went in that enclosure yesterday, the clock tower, full of lovely people. You get such a nice welcome here. It's been fabulous.
I tell you what's, just as an aside, the new Bustardsthorpe lawn.
Not easy to say.
Yeah, you did very well, Matt.
Not after a long week and a few pints last night. It's very, very popular, isn't it?
It's brilliant, isn't it? I've got friends who goes in that, they've been going in there 30, 40 years, that area of the racecourse. I can't believe that York have invested in it, given them those facilities. It's brilliant. And it's not just a usual mix, it's like a real ale bar. And it's full of, like, parties of women drinking Prosecco, etc. I mean, Theeks, I think they struck gold down there. Well worth a visit.
Special guest opens it today. I wonder who that special guest is going to be.
Oh, it's not me. Oh, well, we'll see what it is then.
It's not you.
Oh, no.
First race. Let's talk. Let's talk first race. It is the SkyBet Strensall Stakes. See the Fire. Gosh, I'm struggling. See the Fire favourite with ourselves at 3 to 1. Then Enjvar or Efjavar or Enjabar or Roger Varians is 7 to 2. Yeah, his second favourite. It's a tricky race to kick it off.
It is, because a few of these have got a bit to prove. I mean, See the Fire sets the standard on her second at Goodwood. A few of them, Ali Anabi's been a bit disappointing. Task Force has been a little bit disappointing. A few of the others have as well. I think the one that's overpriced is number 6, Royal Dubai, you know. As long as the rain stays away, we want it good, if not quicker than that. I just think he could be at 14 and 16 to 1. It's got some really good form, and I just think that could be the value each way, with SkyBet paying whatever they're paying. 3 or 4 places.
3 places.
I'll find out later. I just think Royal Dubai is overpriced on the form. He's the reliable one, really, in many ways.
I mean, we'd have to get a fair bit of rain to change it, and there's still a breeze, isn't there? So that this ground is still going to be quick, you would have thought, surely.
Yeah, it's not going to change that much, is it? A bit of rain, potentially 12 till 2, but not enough to significantly change it. I like Phantom Flight. He's in great nick, drops down in trip. The way he's gone through his last 2 races, I don't think that's going to be a problem. I think he'll sit handy here as well. There's a tailwind down the straight. I think he'll run really well, Phantom Flight.
The Bradsell colours.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. The second race is the SkyBet Melrose Handicap. This, we are paying 6 places. Real interesting runner. Obviously, the Queen has reaching high. I backed reaching high 4 times this season, and I didn't bother backing it the last time when it won by the thick end of 30 lengths. So we'll see how that one gets on. I'm going to start with you, Dave, and the Queen's horse. It's gone up in the handicap, but it could be a real improver.
I mean, that's the thing, it absolutely dotted in last time, didn't it? And
yeah, right.
Well, I backed it, I was cheering it out. She arrived yesterday to see the runner in the last, didn't she?
Yep.
And that finished tailed off last, so things can only get better, is my message to the Queen.
Who sang that?
Dee Ream.
Name of the singer?
Oh, I don't know, is it?
Peter Connor.
Oh, very well said again, so that's absolutely brilliant.
From Cork.
It was the theme tune to the election, wasn't it?
It was. Tony Blair, wasn't it?
Yeah.
7?
Yeah, and champagne was spilled that night, and champagne will be spilled at the SkyBet Melbourne. As you know, at the preview night, Champagne Prince was my big bet for this guy. I'm sticking with him after Queen of Moulins went so close.
You were unlucky.
Ollie Bell tried to humiliate me over the pronunciation. I almost had the last one.
Muggins.
Yeah.
Well, when they were...
I had a crack up.
It did, and I had no idea it was because I didn't recognise the name of it, to be honest.
Come and take what's shouting out,
Ed?
I fancy one here. I fancy the horse around the Derby. I think Tom Clover's a terrific trainer, you know.
Yeah.
And this horse stepping up in trip here, I think is really interesting. Number 4, Table Talk. I think he's got more improvement in him. And at this level, I think he could be well handicapped, stepping up in trip, yard going well. They were a bit unlucky yesterday. Though I think probably Vauban went a bit in hand, to be fair. But Table Talk, I think, again, big each way price. I think I might back Table Talk. I can't leave Champagne Prince, because this year, the preview night, if you can, come next year. Been a few winners on there, haven't there?
2 race girls took me to one side yesterday, how much they enjoyed it, what great value, and I would have been backing winners extra. Genuinely, this isn't the plan. So, yeah, it's a great night. Getting better all the time.
Superb, and love to Louise and Grace as well.
Yeah, thank you.
The next race is the SkyBet City of York Stakes. It's disappointing that Kinross is out. There is no doubt about that.
Do you know what, Shindog? I think that's disappointing. I do not understand. I said this at the preview night. I do not understand why all those good horses ran at Newbury last weekend in the Hungerford. It's madness to have a 7-furlong race there in the first place. Yeah. But your English Oaks, your Witch Hunters, and I'm trying to remember who won the damn race, should be here for this prize money. Yeah. And if you want to get it to Group 1 status, Kinross coming out such a blow, and not having those horses here is such a blow.
Yeah. Dave?
Well, it's disappointing. It's 4-7 audience. You wouldn't have thought it'd start 4-7 for any race, would you? But I think it's the exact same setup as Lennox. That power will zoom off. He'll go with him all the space down Yorkshire, enjoy himself, and I think he'll lead him home. The only potential bets last year's Jim Crack winner at the bottom, isn't it? He's the one who could beat.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to him stepping up to 7, but Audience is like one of the highest rated horses in the world.
Yeah,
it needs to be given some credit soon.
It's from a with my SkyBet hat on. It's a real difficult one, this, because rated 124, we want to get this race to Group 1 status.
Yeah.
If he wins, I'm not sure what they'll do with the other horses, because if Audience wins easily, what they're going to do with the others. Whereas if a couple of them beat Audience, they'd have to push them up a little bit in the weights. Or would you just say Audience is massively underachieved? It's such a shame that Kinross is out. It's kind of...
You needed that benchmark in the race, didn't you? That's what
Tiber Flow, that's who won the 100. Tiber Flow.
You were there.
Why is Tiber Flow not here? No. Haggis, York... All this prize money, I don't understand. Well, I do not understand.
We're coming on to the SkyBet Ebor now. It's 20 runners now, 2 non-runners. There was a 1.5 mile handicap at Hamilton last night with 6 or 7 horses who could have run in an Ebor. What is going on with the race planning? How are we not? Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
No, you're right, 100% right. So 2 out, Alfred Butcher and Not So Sleepy, which is really disappointing. SkyBet are currently paying still the 8 places, but keep an eye out if any more were to come out. At the moment, at the top of the market is Magical Zoe, 7-1 alongside Epic Poet. And then we've got Queenstown and Badet Road at 15-2. Ed, what wins and what can run at a price?
You and York do a lot right. Let me say that, but nothing you do better than this community sweepstake on this race. I hosted the draw with Ollie on Thursday and got to meet some of the charities, all represented here. My goodness, I want them all to win. One of them's going to win 20 grand and change so much for their charity. And having met, I did it with Matt and Pam. They've got horses running for them, and just to see what it will mean to them. I think it's brilliant, Michael. Well done to you. Well done to the York team. So I've sort of got that in my mind. I want these charities to win the money. I wouldn't mind winning a few quid as well myself. I've backed 2 in the race. Earlier in the week, I backed Hip Hop de Loire of Willie Mullins' after the preview night. And I've taken from your trip to Ireland, I always put a line through all your Ballydollar information. I think it's a waste of time. But I was fascinated hearing Jesse Harrington talk about Yashin, having had a breathing operation, how they've taught him to settle. And last year, he's on the same mark as last year. And I don't think this is as good a race as last year, potentially, the Ebor this year. So I think Yashin is a knock for, what is it, 8?
8 places.
8 places. Yashin at 20-1 or whatever he is. That's a great bet for me.
Dave?
I like Epic Poet. I think he just screams this race. That second at Royal Ascot, he had a crack of over 10 furlong to the John Smith Cup last time. He's got to be there or thereabouts. Yashin is the each-way play. They think they can tweak some things from last year as well to make him finish close. I think that's really interesting.
And the last...
Do you fancy anything in yours?
I think Magical Zoe. I know it seems a ridiculous thing to say, but the 4th behind Absurd in the county hurdle... you know, a big competitive field. Obviously, we've seen Absurd, ran really well. You know, obviously won last year's Ebor. I just feel like it's been trained with this race specifically in mind, been running it in listed races, kind of preserving its handicap mark. And, I'm very sweet.
Zoe Smalley travels around with all the Bromhead horses. She had a baby a few days ago.
Oh.
Magical for Zoe, so maybe it's written in the stars.
Feel good factor.
There we go. Very good. The last race on ITV... The last one of the meeting is the SkyBet Constantine handicap. 6 places. We've got El Monjed at 4-1, Dare to Hope, who was a big winner for Richard Fahey last weekend at 6-1, and then Billy Joe at 15-2. Anything here, Ed?
I've got cliff horses everywhere in this race. Dark 30, I've backed him so many times this season. I'd love Summergan to do it again. Would just be brilliant. But I thought there was a little bit of a glint in the eye of Richard Fahey. The preview night, he tipped up the Willie Mullins horse in the Ebor, which I thought was fascinating. But Strike Red, he just sort of smiled and had a little bit of a glint. I sensed Strike Red might have been going quite well at home. He's been back this morning, hasn't he, Strike Red, a little bit. So there's still a bit of juice in the price. So I'm going to go Strike Red each way for the master of Musley Bank, who's been in great form.
David?
Snap, and for the exact same reason. Richard thinks it's his best chance of the week, or did at the start of the week, so...
Okay, fantastic. And then the last 2 races, I'm probably going to stick with you, Dave. I don't think...
I'll be listening to Southampton, Nottingham Forest on the radio.
Leeds were better last night, weren't they?
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
Apparently. Rosy Stakes, paying 4 places. We've got one at the front of the market, Tropical Storm. Oisin Murphy, we'll be able to hear from Oisin later on, his thoughts on that horse. But on the face of it, what are you thinking?
So Mr. Lightside looked so quick at Goodwood, absolutely bags of speed, bags of pace.
Coming out of his cage.
Coming out of his
They
cage.
played that. We left the racecourse quite late on, must have been Thursday. Honestly, it was bedlam round the paddock here as they played Mr. Brightside. It was so funny.
We left last night, the band in the new area was playing Mr. Brightside. We walked round here, the band behind the Ebor stand were playing Mr.
I think
Brightside.
Luke Harvey started the craze at Royal Ascot when he was dancing in the Windsor enclosure.
Well, long may it
He
continue.
didn't know any of the lyrics. The only man on earth who didn't know the lyrics to that song. Sorry, where were we?
So, Mr. Lightside for the Roses.
Okay, sorry. And then the final race for the SkyBet Finale Handicap, paying 6 places, 13-2 the field, Dual Identity for the William Knight team at 13-2, Oviedo, Ed Bethel 7-1, Rono 7-1 for Ray Craggs, a very small trainer. Wouldn't it be a great story if that horse won?
Fantastic, John. He's definitely got a chance, but I think that Oviedo, freshened up, that form of the Cambridgeshire last year, Ed Bethel, deadly, isn't he, when he targets these races from some way out. He'll be in the frame.
Okay, thank you very much to both of you. Good luck with all your selections, and I'm pretty certain that we've definitely
Can I say one thing?
pointed you in the right direction. Breaking news, I think this is an ITV7.
It's more than that, Michael. It's an ITV7 worth £100,000 today and a sweepstake on the SkyBet Ebor where you could win a trip to Paris and a lot of cash. Can't remember quite how much, but just lots and lots of cash as well as a trip to Paris. Free to enter.
Thank you, Ed. Good luck.
Sorry.